I think people get in a trap when they just do the same thing every 6 months and they're not growing at all, because I'll come across that person's page or another video of theirs. I'm like, I've seen this before. They've done the same thing for the last 6 months and I'm kind of over it. I loved it in the beginning, but if they don't keep evolving with their personality or with their trait or what they're offering to us is, what their value prop is, we're going to get bored anyway.
That's another gem I'd heard from you before that no one talks about, is you have to make content that doesn't look like your other content so people don't like get jaded by it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like even when I make stories, I try to think of, I want this story to be entertaining. So people are like, oh, Ad has a new story up. And I always know I'm going to be entertained by it. And I don't know if this is right or weird or just a personal preference. I never just post one thing to my story. I want it to be a story. I want it to have a beginning, a middle, and end, an emotional arc. And I don't always adhere to that, but I want that to be on brand for me. Is I'm always entertained by her, or I'm always uplifted, or she always makes me laugh, or I trust her, right? And that is the one thing that I won't sacrifice. Even when we were baiting people into watching these videos, we were honest about that. You know, people knew what to expect. And then now they've grown with me as we move from entertainer to the masses to now we use our powers for good, and we teach businesses and brands how to get anybody to watch anything. And we critique their videos and show them this skill that they could not go learn and don't have the time to, frankly, you know? And so how can we compress as marketers people's years and years and years of figuring this out and then just tell them what to do in 30 seconds and they get their first 15 million view video? That's the thrill for me.
So what's the practical action here? Because I'm someone who has a format, right? It's a podcast clip. I ask a question, and usually the variables are show Adley's face first or show Jack's face first. Something I do is we use a different set pretty much every single time, or different colors at least, just so it looks a little different. But do you think, like, do you have a rule of thumb for that? Like these people that make talking head content, podcast content, for what they should be switching up, how often they should be switching it up? What do you think about?
What you just did with this is great. You make experts. People are over experts, right? We're over it. If anybody can sit here and say this stuff, and they could have looked it up on ChatGPT 15 minutes before the interview, you make people show their expertise, right? I think that I haven't seen anybody do. It's perfect for clips. It's unique, and you make people put their skill where their mouth is on the spot, kind of. I think this was great. And a creator of ours was advising on a very big podcast, a very well-known late night legend type of guy. And she let him do this whole thing and then specifically just went in and made clips. Not dissimilar to maybe how Sean Kelly just does it. And he thinks in clips. And I think thinking in clips when that is the widest top of funnel is really good. But I haven't seen anybody do what we just did here today.
I will say I took it from not that exact thing. I've seen people use props before to demonstrate a point.
Yes.
You know, and it's the #1 podcast that does that, and I'm like, I don't understand why he does that, because it doesn't make me care more. But I kind of get what you're saying. It puts the guest that people are used to seeing in a different state, a different scenario.
And it just uses metaphor to demonstrate a point. So if we can, when we're designing viral videos too, we're trying to appeal to as many senses as possible. Can I understand it? Does it speak to me visually, auditorily? Do I smell? Obviously we can't do, but you can demonstrate smell with like, or, right?